Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Welcome back. And our very good friend Rabbi Seltzer is making a bris, his first child. He's the gabbai of the minyan, the early minyan. He's not here, Mordechai. He's after 6 years marriage, big simcha, big simcha. Any guests today? Mamish quiet. Wow. Who? You have one? No, he's not a guest. You're not a guest. He's not a guest. All right, Rabbi Isai. I just want to tell you like this, a follow-up of yesterday. I received some emails. I go with Das Torah. The way I know, I go to the Gdolim that I go to, Gdolei Adar. And every gadol that I went to said Bepeh Mole, it's a mitzvah. Not only that, I saw with my own eyes the video that they asked Reb Chaim Kanievsky, and he said it's a mitzvah to vote for Eretz HaKodesh. I saw the letter from Reb Beryl Parvarsky, the Shiva of Panovich, who wrote. I heard from Reb Chaim, and he wrote a letter. So I always go with Reb Chaim Kanievsky. I mentioned Reb Chaim Kanievsky 1,000 times in this year, and somebody sends me, Reb Aaron Feldman, who I respect tremendously from Baltimore, wrote that you shouldn't. I get it. There's Gdolim that said no, and I said yesterday. I didn't say all the Gdolim. I said it's going to be like this, and everybody, MDY represents so many different types of people. We have modern Orthodox, we have super Charedim, we have Yerushalmim, so everybody asks their local rabbi. That's it. There's not one rabbi that everybody agrees with, and Eretz HaKodesh is not making a machlokes. They're not name dropping. It happens to be that Rabbi Berkowitz came out yesterday, and I asked him more shilas than I asked any other. I mean, not him, from the other ones, from Rav Feldman Lamashal. I never really spoke to, or I spoke to him once. I never really asked him any shilas. Rabbi Berkowitz came out with a video. It's a chiyuv. Am I allowed to say? Rabbi Asher Weiss is very, very for it. I sent a shliach to Rebbe Brudny for it. Reb Shmuel Kamenetsky. Here, somebody wrote me an email. Refuah Shlema. I don't remember where this email is. Oh. No. I have to find this email. Oh, here. Dear Rebbe Shlita, my name is Yeshua Averik, Mati Steng's brother-in-law. I'm thrilled to hear you're promoting Eretz HaKodesh through MDY. I ran the campaign 5 years ago with Reb Nechemia Milunowitz. I just wanted to let you know, I spoke to Hagoy and Harav Shmuel Kamenetsky Shlita, who very much encouraged me to vote, to get others to vote, and to do anything in my power to promote Eretz HaKodesh in order to stop the reform from destroying Yiddishkeit in Eretz Yisrael. For information, I have this conversation recorded. I also personally know many other Gdolei Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael who pushed very strongly for the success of Eretz HaKodesh, and none of them were concerned at all about the Jerusalem program. I don't know what that means. I know firsthand that Eretz HaKodesh has prevented the reform from causing serious damage to Yiddishkeit and Eretz Yisrael in many different instances. We result to continue to Mekadesh Shem Shomayim, Chazak ve'ematz, Yeshua Averik, Neve Yaakov, Yerushalayim. So again, if you're a gadol and you're a Rosh Hashiva, and Rav Dov Lando, they told me, wrote a letter and put it in a newspaper 2 weeks ago, Seder. Everybody has to do their thing and ask their rabbi. I just want to show you this video, share with you this thing.
I represent Merkaz. Merkaz is the Masorti Conservative Party to the Congress. What happened to us in the last elections to the Congress was a tragedy. The Haredim ran a slate for the first time in the history. For the first time. Since Herzl's time, the pluralistic side of Zionism became a minority. Now, what are the ramifications? They are serious. Reform Judaism and Masorti Conservative Judaism in Israel now is at risk. When you have a budget of $2 billion a year, you have a way to influence how Israel look like. In any elections, the people who do not vote actually voted, right? Because they allowed others' values to be present. The World Zionist Congress became the only democratic tool that allows Jews from all over the world to be represented in Israel, that allows Jews from all over the world not only to have an opinion and a voice when it comes to Israel, but also to have a vote. The delegates of the Congress, like the Parliament of the Jewish people, third of it come from Israel. The Knesset sends delegates to the Congress. Okay. The second third is you guys.
Okay. The point is that they use this money to fight from people. Fight from people. They call it a tragedy. The from people are taking money. So the more money you take out of that $2 billion pool, goes to Torah, literally goes to Torah, goes to yeshivas, to seminaries. And again, I asked my Rabbanim, I go with Das Torah, and this is what they told me. You ask your Rav, you find out what. Reb Shmuel first, for instance. Reb Shmuel first was my Rav. He's the Dayan, he's the Paisik of the entire Midwest in America. He came out with a tremendous letter yesterday. What am I saying here? Oh, it's slide 2. Okay.
Push woke, really, really super woke ideas.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
That's what we're talking about. Okay. Was noch? Adam Kaufman. Yeah, so Rabbi Isai, once again, if you are voting, if your rabbi told you to vote, if you're voting, you get these phone calls because so many yeshivas, my son's yeshiva and Beis David, Imre, they're all, Aish has their own delegate. Every place is fighting for these votes. So if you are going to vote, please vote through MDY because we will gain from it. We will gain tremendous from it. How do they know Eretz HaKodesh? You vote for Eretz HaKodesh, but how does Eretz HaKodesh know that you voted for MDY? If you show us, send us a confirmation that you voted. A lot of people, we know because we saw the click-through. A lot of people voted yesterday and they didn't send us a confirmation. So go back to your email and take it out and just send us that. It's kedai for us, for you. Let's say you have a debate whether you should vote for Group A, which you appreciate a lot, or MDY, Eretz HaKodesh. If you enjoy the Shiri, benefit from the Shir, so please give us your vote because we'll benefit afterwards. We won't have to come for you for money. I don't know what. It'll help everybody. A lot of people I noticed, that this is Mark Ashkenazi told me, most people who voted, their wives didn't. So it's another opportunity. Tell your wives, vote here. You know how to do it. And also, yesterday was terrible. The site fell, kept on falling. So many people want to vote. It kept on going down. The Rabbi Arnhorner did it in 2 minutes. Most people had to go back another time. They had to go back an hour later. It kept on. How much? 6 times you went? So Rabbi say, I know it's a terrible thing. You tried, but maybe you should go back. Only if your rabbi said so. Only. Huh? You haven't. Yeah. This time. There's time to do it. But now is everybody's with the schwung. Was noch? Okay. I think I spoke enough about it. This is Make Purim Great Again. Rabbi Isai in Ra'anana, they're getting together. I'm very proud of them that they're doing this. Any place that they get together for Torah. In Ra'anana, just look at this. Shachris is 5:35. It's nets. And then breakfast. And they're doing the shir at 7. So, Yishakoyach Gadol. Anything else that I want to say? Oh, this was a good one. The schedule. The shir is for English is going to be regular time. There's a minyan before, a net's minyan before. There's a minyan after, but the shir is at 7:10 and on Motzei Shabbos 10 o'clock. The Hebrew is slightly different. Sorry. For Hebrew it's 10 o'clock. For English 8:45. Let's do 9. 9 o'clock Motzei Shabbos because it's getting later. It's shaykh to close the window maybe. Very loud. I know we need a little. 9 o'clock. Now, if you are Hebrew speaking, you want to come to the Hebrew shir, we're doing an 11:30 a.m. on Purim day itself. So 7 o'clock, 7:10, right here for English. Hebrew 11:30. There's going to be challah to wash. You can wash at 11:30, and then we're going to have mincha afterwards, and we go into the meal. Okay, listen to this real quickly. I prefer to remain anonymous. I hope this message finds you well. I just wanted to reach out to express my appreciation. That I'm Talmud from Bava Basra. I'm truly hooked and make it a point to listen every day. I also want to take a moment to congratulate and establish them in the yeshiva. I believe there's great need for it. It's a wonderful initiative that many will benefit from. However, as I've been listening over the past couple of days, only 2 days, I feel that the core audience here who are eager to learn the daf with the emails may not be as interested in updates about the yeshiva. We appreciate the sponsorships from MDY messages, but perhaps it would be better to keep the yeshiva topic separate from our daily learning sessions. Thank you for continuing this feedback. I wonder if others feel the same. Maybe read this in shir and ask around. Voted already, a grateful Talmud. So, I just want to give you an update about the yeshiva. No, take it away for a second. No, seriously. You told me yesterday, I was speaking to Noam, he told me what a crazy day I had, boy after boy after boy, application. So say real quickly, what do you got? Here, hold on. Go, no. Okay, go.
Oh, like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Boy after boy after boy after boy. That's it. No, I met with parents. I met with, what? Look at the camera. I met with parents. I met with 3 or 4 rebbeim. I met with guys. Just been, the phone's been exploding with interest. A few Zoom meetings, a few phone meetings, and it's really shaping up to be something unbelievable. That's the summary.
Okay, Rabbi, I'm not going to bore you every day with this. We just started. It's a nice platform, and I believe it is MDY. That's what it is. MDY is about Torah with geschmack, and instead of picking up the pieces, getting the emails, I'm 65 and I haven't opened up a Gemara since yeshiva, we want to make a yeshiva where it's geschmack and people will never drop the Gemara. They'll always love learning, and that's what it's about. It's the same concept of the shir throughout the whole day. Be'ezer Hashem. So again, we're not trying to change the yeshivas, and there are a certain amount of boys. Let's say not 100% of the boys all fit into this one box that the yeshiva that I went to and you guys went to. There's another 10%, let's say, that don't fit in. They want to learn, and they're good boys, solid boys. They don't like the style maybe. It's too heavy for them. This is another option. So, Rabbi Isai, hopefully we'll cut down on the, we're closing registration soon. It's getting, all right. Here we go. We are holding Umechusar Kippurim on, we got to do sponsors. Wow. Okay. Kippurim, Purim, wow. Where are we? I said, okay. The Mesechta sponsor lirfo shleima Shmuel Ben Chaim or Boisai. He needs lirfo shleima and Yosef Chaim Shmuel Ben Alte Nechama lirfo shleima by the grateful family. Anonymous for Hatzlacha Berukhin Subagashmius by Larry Cohn in memory of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim who started learning Daf Yomi at age 70. I didn't appreciate that my face was on Yeshiva World News and they spoke about it and they made a whole article that I pushed. That I felt a little uncomfortable. I have to say the truth. But whatever, it is what it is. Anonymous for the unity of the Jewish people, Glenn Esterson, with love and gratitude from Wilmington, North Carolina. Thank you for enriching my life with Torah. Monthly sponsors: Eli Stefansky, Yosef, Binyomin Rosenfeld, Hatzlacha Parnassah, Amen. Yosef Ben Chaya Sara, Hatzlacha, ובגשמיות. The Yishmas the following hostages: Ariel ben Shiri, Kfir ben Shiri, Shiri bat Margit, Parnassah Baruch Tzvi Nisim ben Shoshana Leah, and by monthly sponsors, actualize one word. Where's Penny Gilden? Wow, Penny, Refuah Shlema. We should see you in base measures. Bekarov. How did it go? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yivaldik. You hear this? This is the world's best sponsorship. It's one word. Actualize. Actualiys. Koil sponsorship, Yaakov and Sarah Mishpachta Lebrocha Hatzlacha. Weekly sponsors, Hatzlacha in audit and tax season. Daily sponsor, Linish Master Rev Melech Ben Rav Nachman, HaKoyin Rubenstein, Rav Me Rachov Poilin, Nifter Yud Aleph Oder Tov Shin Beis is in Shom Shadav and Aliyah to the most profound and life-changing Daf Yomi Shir Yishkoyach. Wow, that's very nice. Happy birthday to Miriam Sandman of New Haven, Connecticut, from your family. Meir Planko, happy birthday. Meir Planko, Lili Shmas, Rav Nosson Nota Ben Avram Yitzchok, Meir Planko, Ben Avram Yitzchok, by Meir Planko and Chanoch Nelkin. L'schus, Lili Nishmas, L'schus. Okay. Lili Nishmas, let me say again. Lili Nishmas, Rav Nosson Nota Ben Avram Yitzchok, by Meir Planko and Chanoch Nelkin. L'schus Lanas Bas Simcha for effective and successful surgery today and a speedy recovery. Amen. And the art of the month. For Shleima Yohanan Eitan Ben Batsheva Bracha. For schus for rebellion, the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah. So enjoy with so many. In honor of Yossi Klan and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Rabbi Isai, we're holding 8 lines from the bottom of Pegimel Amud Beis, Umechusar Kapara. So, we were learning yesterday about all the different things that a Kohen or other people could do, and that causes Misa B'dei Shamayim, the death penalty, but from Shamayim. One of them is Mechusar Kapara. Mechusar Kapara is a person who was tummy for some reason. Let's say he's a Zav, a Matzayra, a Yerledes, and they go to the mikvah, and when they go to the mikvah, they are a Tful Yom. First they're a Tful Yom, meaning you have to wait until Herav Shemesh, which, by the way, yesterday I didn't show you this video, so let me show it to you real quickly, if I can find, oh, here it is. First you become a Tful Yom.
To all those who are titled before Shkia, you are now considered a Tful Yom. You are still forbidden to eat truma and are liable for the death penalty if you enter the Beis Hamikdash. At 6:30, you will be completely tar. Those of you who did not have time to be toivel can be toivel now, but you will be considered a Tful Yom until tomorrow at Seis HaKoichavim.
Spinzel, I didn't make it on time to be toivel before Shkia, so I can't eat the kale and broccoli salad you made from the truma we received. No, that's okay. I'll buy myself a shawarma. Goodbye.
The beer is on me.
All right. So that's a Tful Yom, Shkoyach. And then, if you have to bring a carbon, even if it's Shkia time, after the Shkia, you become a Mechusar Kippurim. You're missing an element of the kapara, which is to bring the carbon. So let's say by this woman who's a Yeledis, she has to wait 33 days, which she is semi-tar, she's mutter to her husband, but she still didn't bring a carbon. On day 40, 33 plus 7, on day 40 she brings the carbon, then she's completely tar. The Gemara is going to show us that she's considered tmeya in a way. She's tamei, not to her husband, but she has an element of tuma that's called mechusar, missing kapara. Minolan, how do you know that if you perform the avodah Beis Hamikdash shechayev misa? Omer Rav Huna do Markro v'chiper oleha hakoyim v'tohera. Then she becomes tar after 40, day 40, by a boy, by girl, it's day 80. Miklal she tmeya, until then she is tamei, v'mamar, and that already we learned yesterday. Tamei sheshimish b'misa, a kohen who's tamei, who performs the avodah, receives misa b'dei shamayim. B'shalei rechutz yadayim v'raglayim. I love this because the entire Yuma we're doing it, and now just the technology, Shabbai, it's unbelievable. It adds so much. This is the exact picture that we used in Yuma, and just add an element of movement. Minolan, how do you know that if you don't wash your hands and feet before you perform that avodah, you don't die if you wash your hands. If you don't wash your hands, you do die. If you drink wine, Rabbi Isai, and then it says at the end of the pasuk, right? What's the lashon over here?
No, man. The wine was with it. It's no siman of his beer.
No, that's V'loy samusu. If you altesh, don't drink. V'loy samusu, so you shouldn't die. But if you drink, you die. It says before it's in the pasuk. I just remember because this lady yelled at him for not being able to eat her kale salad. This guy was walking the street like 3 a.m. He was a shtickle tipsy, and the cop says, "Where do you think you're going at 3 a.m?" He said, "I'm going to hear a speech." He says, 3 a.m? He said, "Yeah, my wife is waiting for me." Again, Pri Rosh. Typically, you think a Hebrew speaker would think Pri Rosh means you took off your head covering. Over here, Pri Rosh means you have long hair. You didn't take a haircut in 30 days. They shouldn't shave their head. That the pasuk we saw says mefurish. There's misa itkush Pri Rosh. A drunk person is b'misa. Pri Rosh b'misa. Aval Ariel. A person who doesn't have bris milah, why? Let's say his brothers died during the bris, so he doesn't have bris. He has good reason, but still something's missing from him. Oynein, one of his relatives died that day before the kvura. Yosef, he sits during the avodah, the performance of the avodah, ba'azara. There's no misa, avol. But the exception is Ariel, and Yosef. The other things that we spoke about until now are misa. These, they get hazar, they get malchus, a lav. Ariel minon, how do you know if you don't have a bris milah, you perform the avodah, you get malchus? So it's a lav. We don't find it in the Chamisha Chumshei Torah. Yechiel ben Buzi v'limodnu. Yechiel came and taught us. Why is his name Yechiel ben Buzi? Because people made fun of him. Ben Buzi mivayishim when he gave Musar. Now, it's very, very important that he became, that's his name, Ben Buzi. It's actually an honor. It's an honor. He was mavuyish because he stuck up for what's right. I know a guy that right after this, because it's Purim, every Purim, right after the Megillah reading, he didn't know what to do. He's a shtickle shy, got up, banged on the bima. He says, Rabbi, I hate to tell the Olam here, I don't think we were Yaitz Megillah. There was at least 2-3 Hamans that I didn't hear the Balkari, and you should know, if you're missing one word, you're not Yaitza. Wow, people went crazy, they were yelling at him. What are you talking about? I didn't hear, that's not the halacha. If you have Roiv, it's good. He said, no, the halacha is, if you miss one word, you're not Yaitza. But no, Roiv, Kitzer, they were driving crazy, the whole Purim, hate mails, the whole thing. Kitzer. But he's Mvaish himself, because he thought it was the right thing to do.
That guy was me.
Huh?
That guy was me.
No. I would have screamed out in the middle of.
Very good.
But call Ben Necher. What?
I didn't forget to say,
What?
to correct you the last couple of days about it.
Oh.
Just, it's like at some point a person should.
It becomes just like a guy gave me a license plate because I said Epic Center instead of Epicenter. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, that's the word. So from that up. Ambulance, whatever I say, different things that my kids make fun of. Kol ben nechar Ariel lev. The Ariel boss, it says in Yechiel, he has an arla on his body, meaning he doesn't have a bris milah. It's not Moshe Rabbeinu, it's Yechiel. How do we know that a person is lost a loved one that day? The Siv, it's referring to a Kohen Gadol. A Kohen Gadol who's a Oynan should not leave the Beis HaMikdash. So you can infer Mikdash Elikov. So what is this called? This is a diuk. You're inferring. It doesn't say in the Torah anything about a regular Kohen. It talks about a Kohen Gadol. Kohen Gadol, don't leave. But if you're not a Kohen Gadol, leave. You better run. Okay, it's important to remember that we just inferred. Doesn't say Mefurish in the pasuk. So now, once you know that a regular Kohen, he's not allowed to be inside the Beis HaMikdash when he lost a loved one. So now learn from Truma. Why are you telling me that it's Malchus? It should be Misa. So it says, very simple. Miksiv bei begufei. It comes from inferring, not from a mefurish. Have a davar abom and a klal. Because davar abom and a klal in the noise of Gzer Shava. How in the world can you learn Gzer Shava to something that Gzer Shava means? It says in this pasuk this word. It says in this pasuk this word. We put them together. Yes, it says in this pasuk this word, but it doesn't say in the pasuk a regular kohen. It's only talking about a kohen gadol. You inferred from that that's talking about. But the Gzer Shava is not going to go on that person. Amar Rav Nachman. Amar Kra. Yosef Ben Chaya, sorry, thank you. Yosef Ben Chaya, how do you know if you're sitting and you perform the avodah, you get malchus? Says the Gemara. To stand and perform the avodah. I chosen to stand and not to sit. So, first thing is, I don't know about the first minyan. But the second minyan, there's a thing. I once spoke about it, and everybody took it to heart. It's very interesting. I wasn't pumping it like crazy. I think I said it once. If you notice, in the second minyan, people do not sit during Chazar Shashas. It's the thing. My children like to sit. It's the thing. Over here, you see that by tefillah, which is instead of avodah, you're supposed to stand. La'amoid l'sharis. What's Chazar Shashas? It's a joke. We're just waiting for it. It's an important thing. We're not supposed to learn during Chazar Shashas, although some people do. Because I looked around the room, and a guy went like this. When I start right now, he's the guy that learns the daf during not you, somebody else, sitting in the back on the left side, and he's also about Kaira. He went, I'm serious. He went like this. Like he's about to say shtusim. Okay, so. Huh?
There's the kiss from Hashem. It says "V'lo yeshiva." Not the
yeshiva. Fine. So, anyways, I don't know. I didn't see it anywhere. I'm throwing it out there. I think Chazar Shatz is it's a part of Amida. It's a different. It has even a bigger kedusha in a way. It's the klal saying it together. La Amida. That's one thing. Again, not pushing. But some people stand by Kriyas Torah. In fact, the Gemara Megillah says, I don't. I'm not pushing that agenda. I'm just saying they do. The Gemara Megillah says that people used to learn in standing, only standing. The entire yeshiva, there's no cheers. Everybody stood. Maybe that's why there's standers and everything. You stand. When people got weaker, the generation got weaker, they stopped that. So here's a question: do you have to stand by Kriyas Megillah? Does the Balkoyer have to stand? Yes. The answer is, who said yeah? Then why? For the covet of the tzibur. For the covet of the tzibur. Not because of the covet of the Torah, covet of the tzibur. So, let's say you're reading it at home for your wife. You sit. You could sit. People sit when they read the Megillah for their wives. It's not a tzibur. Interesting stuff. Zog the Gemara. Balmum. A person who's, let's say, missing his ear. Does he get misa b'dei shomayim, or is it a lav? My time of the Rebbe, why does Rebbe say you get misa? We learn from Truma. By Truma, of course, yesterday we had it 3 times. Today we're going to have it a bunch of times as well. Truma is misa. If you eat Truma when you're tamei, misa. Misa, afkan b'misa. As the Gemara v'neilav chilul min noisar. Why you're learning from Truma? Learn from noisar. What is noisar? Boys, I forgot to show you this beautiful picture. Noisar. It's a piece of meat that slept over the allotted time. You're only allowed to eat it for 2 days, and you left it over in your refrigerator for the 3rd day. If you eat that, you chayiv misa. So let's learn from Noisar. Ma lahalam b'karis, afkan b'karis. Let's learn from Noisar. This is karis. Says the Gemara, and we're talking about a balmum here, right? So you can learn from Truma, and you can learn from Noisar. So the Gemara says, Mistaber mitruma v'leilam shekain psula guf mipsula guf. They're very similar. That by Truma, what's the problem with Truma? Not the Truma itself. The problem is you, the Kohen. You are tamei. And what's the problem over here with this Kohen? He's missing an ear. He himself has a problem with his body. His body is the problem, not the food. Noisar, what's the problem with Noisar? Not the Kohen. The meat is a problem. It stayed over in the refrigerator. That's different. Here we have these 4 things. Noisar, the meat itself is Kaddish. The Truma, the what are we talking about? Yeah, the Kohen, the Balmum, Kodesh. Pnim, it's inside the Beis Hamikdash. Pigul, he thinks in his mind to do it in a he's going to eat it outside of the allotted time or out of the place. So, let me ask you a question. If he's a Balmum, how could he think that thought? He's a Balmum, he's not allowed to perform that avodah. It's a trick question, not a trick question, because I threw it out yesterday, but then I had to go look it up. A Balmum could do shchita. Chiddush. He could do shchita. So during his shchita, he can't do other stuff. But shchita, yes, like Yisrael could do shchita. Shchita is kosher b'zar. It's kosher also with the Balmum. That I wasn't sure about. It says mufurish. I think it's a Mishnah. So when he's performing the shchita, he has a thought to himself, oh, we're going to eat this meat 3 days later. That's pigul. The noisar, obviously, because he performed that shchita, it's left over, there's noisar. Ela mitami sheshimish gomer. So let's just learn from a kohen who's tamei who performed that avodah. A balmum kohen to a kohen who's tamei. Yeah, they're both kohanim. One is a mum, one is tamei. The one that's tamei, we already said. I'm sorry. The mitami sheshimish gomer. Yeah, the one who's tamei. Psula guf, mipsula guf. But also, check this out. Now we can take the 4 things that we have on the other side, by the noisar side. See, these 4 things that we have by noisar, we're not learning it from noisar, but we're going to take those 4 things and add it to the tamei sheshimish. A kohen who's tamei, who performed that avodah, has those 4 things as well. Plus, he's psul in the body. So now you have 5 things on the list. Great. By truma that you eat when you're tamei, it says in the pasuk, boy. This is what you get the misa for, not other things. So we're going to learn two things from this. Not two other things. What? One is this. V'loi b'balmom. Balmom doesn't even get misa. Heize b'mila. Let's say a guy sees something in the Beis Hamikdash. He sees food. He takes it. He eats it. He sees, according to Rashi, he takes an object and uses it. Rebbe Yomer misa v'chamor b'hazara. My time at the Rebbe. Why does Rebbe say you get the death penalty? Once again, we're going to learn from Truma. Mal alam b'misa. We know Truma's misa. Afkan b'misa. V'rabbanan amri omakra boy. Oh, the same boy tells us only this gets misa boy. Truma gets misa v'loy b'meila. Zar sheshimish b'mikdash. A Yisrael who performs as an avodah in Beis Hamikdash, he also gets the death penalty. Tanya Rabbi Shmuel Omer, death penalty min hashamayim. Nemakam v'ha'azor ha'korev yumes v'nemel ha'alon koil ha'korev ha'korev el mishkan Hashem yomos. If you come close to the mishkan, you shall die. So if you look over here, it says v'ha'azor ha'korev you must, and over here it says you yomus. Slightly different. The vav is before the mem, the vav is after the mem. Mal ha'alon b'dei shomayim, afkan b'dei shomayim. They're both death penalty min hashamayim. Rabbi Kiva Omer nemer kan v'azor ha'korev you must. V'nemer ha'alon v'hanovi yahu oy choylei v'chalim yahu you must. The same exact word. What is it talking about? It's talking about a navi who's being maces. He's telling Klal Yisrael to perform avodah zarah. Check this out. Here he is. He's telling them about the avodah zarah. They should do avodah zarah. That's a maces. Malalon beskila afkan beskila. By the navi you get skila, so everywhere else gets skila. Rabbi Yochanan ben Uri Omer malalon bechenek afkan bechenek. We actually have a three-way machlokes here. Do you get misa b'dei shemayim, or do you get misa b'bezin? And if it's b'bezin, is it bechenek or beskila? B'makom Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Kiva says adonim you must. Rabbi Kiva says the words line up perfectly to the navi. Be'indonim you must miyamus. The vav should become before the mem, not after the mem. It's a different way. If you're going to learn Xer Shava, it has to be, the words have to be identical, he says. Not similar. It's better to learn from identical words. They don't have to always, but it's better if you have the option to do identical words. Learn from the identical words. Learn from the Navi. Rabbi Shmuel Savar, and therefore you get skill. Rabbi Shmuel Savar, donim hedyot mehedyot donim hedyot minavi. I don't want to learn a regular person from a Navi who sins. His einish is different. Rabbi Kiva, I thought this is a big chiddush. Kivin shediach ein lecha hedi gadol zeh. This Navi, who's doing this terrible thing, berabim, and he's telling people to perform a zar, he's not a Navi. Now he's not but he's getting punished like a Navi. He was a Navi right before he opened his mouth, and it's a different punishment. No, but right now we're looking at him now. Now he's a hedyot. Interesting. Like a Kohen Gadol who does I don't know, he makes a halacha, he makes a mistake in halacha. He's not a Kohen Gadol anymore? No, okay, so over there he remains a Kohen Gadol. I'm just thinking aloud over here. Oivei. I never showed this to the Hebrew. Every day I'm forgetting something. Okay, I have to remember. Remind me, Gershon, to show this, please. Yeah. What's the machlokes between Rabbi Kiva and Rabbi Yochanan? Rabbi Shimon v'Rabbanan. The saying Navi shediach b'skila. What do you get? Navi who's maces. He tells other people to do avodah zarah. Get skila. Rabbi Shimon Omer b'chenek. There's a machlokes in the Navi himself, but whether it's skila or chenek. Oh, not Rabbi Kiva Omer b'chenek. But what are we going to do? Why would Rabbi Kiva over here say skila? Where Rabbi Kiva himself said it's chenek. Says Gemara Treit Hanoy v'aliv the Rabbi Kiva. It's machlokes what Rabbi Kiva said. In Rabbi Shimon, our Mishnah, we go like Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon is the Talmud of Rabbi Kiva, and he says chenek. Brisa, Rabbanim, Rabbi Kiva, and the Brisa goes like others. The Rabbanim will say that Rabbi Kiva said that it's skila. Hadron Allah Chilon Esrafim, Hadron Allah Chilon Esrafim, Hadron Allah Chilon Esrafim. Yeah, new Gemara. Rabbi Isai Daf Pedal Amud Beis, sponsored by Adar Global Experts, Adar Global Experts in International Financial Services, by Dr. Allen and Barbara Listhouse, in memory of my dear father Joseph Listhouse on his 45th yard side, Mordechai Yosef Ben Aaron Olav Vashal. Lurfu es Rivka Henyo Bashlamis, Lurfu Latino Gicheskel Yedidi Ben Chama Shendel Omeid. Nat Life Realty Bet Shemesh and Moshe Einhorn in honor of Rebelli and the entire MDY family. Shkoyach. Oh? Of course, a Navi that's a Maces. It's much different. He says, I heard from Hashem that you should do Avodah Zarah. It's much different. Yes. So, says the Mishnah, What's fascinating is that if you look in the Mishnayos, you'll see that Eilon Echnakim is the final parak of our Masechta, and Chelik is right over here. For whatever reason, maybe 1,000 years ago, they changed it around. That Masechtas, how do we know this? Because Masechtas Makkos starts off and saying that we go back to back with Perik Eilon Echnakim. That's what it says in Masechtas Makkos. So you see, and you open up the Mishnayos. I did, and sure enough, Chelik is right now, and Eilon Echnakim is it. Fine. For whatever reason, they changed the order. But just so you should know, we have 23 days of stories and Agadata for 23 days straight. The famous Perik Chelik, not now. Famous Perik Chelik is coming up in like 5 days. What? Very long dafim. Shiur, we're going to be an hour and a half. There's a lot of the svarim. Somebody gave me 2 svarim on it. I have to look at them. These are the people that get the strangulation. Once again, to remind the olam, you put him in saya, in waist, and then you tie something around his neck, and the 2 edim, they pull from different ends. As we're going to see, what does it mean to hit your father? If somebody slaps his father across the face in the middle of shul, does he get chenek? No. It has to be a wound of like blood, black and blue, that kind of thing. Begoyin of nefesh miyisrael, a person who kidnaps. Interesting, because these seminary girls, very chashuva girls, chashuva seminary, they told me it says in Aseret Sadibris, you're not allowed to steal. I said, it doesn't say in the Aseret. What do you mean? They were very upset. It says, I said, no, that's not stealing. Well, so what does it mean? It means not to kidnap. Oh, very funny. No, that's a different pasuk. It does say in the Torah not to steal, but not Lo Signoi in Aseret Sadibris. The going of Nefesh Yisrael is to kidnap somebody, get chenek. V'zoki mamrei, those Gazans, the Yimach Shemam, they deserve chenek. They should all die in those caves over there. V'zoki mamrei al pi bezdin. So if one of the Sanhedrin, a Gadol Adar, speaks 70 languages, and he's a Gadol Shebegdailim, and he argues with his fellow Sanhedrin in the Lishkas HaGazas in the Beis HaMikdash, he argues with them, gets the death penalty. If they all decide this is the halach, and he says, well, I disagree with you. V'navi sheker. V'navi ha-sheker. Oh, Rabbi said, don't forget, we have a beautiful Navi sheker over here. Anybody that ever went like next to the beach, or you know these guys. Look at his wild eyes. I love this guy. I don't know. Cracks me up. Or this is Meshuggah. You know that guy. You know the guy. They always push the religion, v'chulu, anti-Israel. I don't know what. Somebody says in a vu in the name of Avodah Zarah. I thought this is interesting that the Eishesish, which is the Gimel Chamurais, you get the least Misa, Chenek. The daughter of the Kohen, which we had an extensive sugya, the daughter of the Kohen, who is Mizana, what does she get? She gets Shreifa. What does the boil get, the Noyef, the guy? Depends. Sometimes he gets Chenek, sometimes he gets Skila. When? If she's a Naira Hamurasa, she's engaged and she's a Naira, and she's the daughter of a Kohen, then we up it to Skila, because all Naira Hamurasas get Skila. He gets what a normal person gets. We ignore the fact that she's a Bas Kohen. She gets a special thing called Sreifa. Different. We have a pasuk that we learned that he gets different. But what kind of different depends on the situation. If she's married, so every Eishes Ish, you get what? We just learned. Eishes Ish, Chenek. So Mela, if she's married and he has relations with her, he gets Chenek. So when the Mishnah over here says, V'zoyim make Bas Kohen, the Eidim that said that she was Mizana, and then we find out that she wasn't Mizana, and Basisim Loy Kasher Zamam, you have to do to the Eidim what they wanted to do to her. They want to give her Sreifa, yet the Torah says they don't get Sreifa. What do they get? They get Chenek, because she is married. But if she wasn't married, she was engaged, then they would get Skila. We were up at the Skila. Ubayala, the same thing for the Noyef. How do we know that somebody who strikes his father and his mother, he gets Chenek? Misa bebezdin. It says before in the Torah, striking your father and mother, you shall die. We know, it's halacha that every time the Torah doesn't specify, it automatically goes to Chenek, which is the easiest It's a machlokes. Let's go with the Tanakama. It's the lowest on the board, on the left side, left bottom corner, bottom left, easiest. Says the Gemara, maybe it means makkah. Makkah usually means, a lot of times it means in the Torah, when you strike somebody to death, not just give him a whack on his hand. Says the Gemara, svara. So you're telling me that if somebody murders another human being, he gets saif. And let's look at the list. The list, obviously, on the left side, hereg, saif, is number 2 before the bottom. So if somebody murders his friend, he gets saif. And if somebody murders his father, he gets a lower misa, an easier thing. Doesn't make any sense. Says Gemara, the classic. We had this at least, I don't know how many times. Ask the Koil guys. In our Mistach. That's great if you say chenek is on the bottom of the board. But if you say, like Reb Shimon, the chenek is number 2, and saif is less, now it makes perfect sense. You kill your neighbor, you get the lowest on the board. You kill your father, you get one more. So maybe, let's go back to the question. Maybe makkah means to kill your father. Where's your svara now? It says in the pasuk the word makkah, and it says in the same pasuk death. The Torah specified that he died, but in our case, when it says makkah, it doesn't say that he died. It means that he didn't die. You just whacked him, and there was blood. Says Gemara, we need the 2 psukim. Listen to this. Let's talk it out real quickly. I have a havamina that if you murder a child that's below bar mitzvah, you don't get the death penalty. Hashem will take care of you, but you don't get the death penalty. Why? He's not chai b'mitzvahs. He's a lower category, so maybe that you don't get the death. Komashma, you need a pasuk that you do. And now you do. Maybe if you kill a baby that's not going to be viable, a baby is born with 2 spines. Completely deformed, you know he's not going to survive more than a week, 2 weeks, less than 30 days, and you go ahead and kill him. Maybe you should be chayiv misim bezdin. That you're not chayiv misim bezdin. So I need the 2 psukim. Only if he's bar mitzvah. If you kill a katan, not that you're free, scot free, but we can't take you to bezdin and kill you there. All nefashos. Because Rachmana kol makin nefesh. And if I would just say kol makin nefesh. By the way, it hit me, so I'm going to say it without the filter. For whatever reason it is in society, if somebody has a disease, a real disease, people have a lot of rachmanas on him. They go to the hospital and this, to heal him, the whole thing. L'chayra, you can write me emails if you disagree, and I hope I'm not saying the wrong thing. L'chayra, somebody that has a mental disease, is just as bad, but society kind of shuns them. It's not, oh, what a nebach, let me take care of him, let me help him, and this and that. It's like, oh, okay, it's a shun. It shouldn't be like that.
And what it is, so they're scared of it.
Right. We say it. I'm saying, how do we act?
Scared of it. We don't
right.
say it.
Hava amina afilu nefalim, afilu ben shmoina. Because of Rachmana, kol makin nefesh, would only say kol makin nefesh. Hava amina afilu nefalim, afilu ben shmoina. In the time of the Gemara, there was a concept called giving birth in the 8th month. The baby wasn't viable. It was just a fact. The baby wasn't viable. So tzrichi, I need a pasuk to tell you that if you kill such a baby that's not today, a baby like that, you don't sit shiva. There's no levaya. They bury. They don't tell you where they bury. It's not a viable baby. So if a person kills such a baby, he's what is it called? Rachmanas killing. How's it called? A mercy killing. He's a big chacham. He thinks, oh, let me take care of the parents. So we don't kill this person. He's doing the wrong thing. 100% it's wrong what he's doing, but he's not liable for the physical death penalty. What Hashem does to him is something else. Tzrichi. That's why I need the 2 psukim. Maybe if you didn't, you hit your father, give him a punch, let's say, no blood. It says Mufurish in the Mishnah, we're going to have it in a few daf, that you must draw blood. It's not just, I might be speaking, black and blue is also chabura. In other words, draw blood from the vessels, it doesn't have to come out of the body, such a chabura. But a slap across the face, not. So we have a hekesh between a human and a behemoth. The Gemara later is going to say, what do we do with this hekesh? Because at the end we're not going to need it, so we have to do something with it. But here it is. We have an adam and a behemoth. The Gemara understands in the Havamina that you have to draw blood. You're not chayiv if you harm an animal unless there's blood. The Gemara says, what are you talking about? There's ways to harm an animal without drawing blood, and he's still chayiv. D'chsiv ba nefesh. Av maka adam ad avet chabura. So when you hit your father, you have to draw blood. Masiv lo Rav Yirmiyah. Elamate k'chisho ba'avonim hochanami d'le mechayiv. We have a gewaldige picture. Let's say you load up a donkey with stones, and you destroy the donkey. Not a drop of blood left the donkey, but you destroyed him. You're not chayiv. You don't have to pay for damages. At the end of the day, the animal is worth $1,000. I heard donkeys are pretty cheap. Like let's say $200 today, something like that. And now it's worth $50. Why shouldn't you have to pay the difference? Of course you have to pay the difference. Other mud lo'ilam, ben yair, yashin, whatever. Of course you're chayiv. Okay, so let's take it back. That pasuk of behema, it can't be referring to behema because in a behema you're chayiv in all instances, not without blood also. So meila, of course, if you cause damage through stones, you're chayiv. So therefore, I'm going to use it for our sugya that you have to draw blood when you hit a father. So then why do I need this hekesh of maka adam and maka behema? That what? We know that if a person is Mechal Shabbos, and while he's Mechal Shabbos, he shot an arrow, it went 4 amas, and Rosh Hashanah was Mechal Shabbos. He's Chayiv Misa. But he tore his shirt. He ripped somebody's shirt. When it hit the 4 amas, he's potter. Why? What if he shot an arrow by mistake on Shabbos? By mistake, and it tore a shirt? He's potter. Why? Because had he done it on purpose, he would have chayiv misa, and if he would chayiv misa, he wouldn't have to pay for the monetary damages. So since he did it by mistake, and even though he's not chayiv misa, he's also potter from the monetary damages. Tremendous chiddush. How does he know it? From this pasuk. That's if you hold of it. If you don't hold of this, why do you need a hekesh? So Gemara says, if a person damages an animal, you come. I mean, seriously, people spend, if you have a dog, you know what I'm talking about, unfortunately, dog gets cancer. What are you going to do, let him die? Go to the vet, you spend $10,000. People are meshuggah, surgeries, the whole thing. Go to the vet. The vet chops him open. You're going to, you cut my dog. Yeah, I cut your dog. Cutting a dog, in this case, is a refuah, says Rashi. It's not a makkah, it's a refuah. I don't know if Rav Moshe Ben Chaim, I just remember that I brought it recently. The Rav Moshe Ben Chaim talks about plastic surgery. You're not allowed to do Kabbalah to yourself. You're not allowed to harm yourself. He says it's good for shidduchim and this and that. You're allowed to. That's not a Kabbalah. That's a refuah. That's a. So, af maka adam l'refuah pater. If, just remembered, this guy in Chicago, he told us, he said he had a German Shepherd, and his German Shepherd was so smart, he told us. He's like, he knew when we're going to the vet. When we're going to the vet, he knew he wouldn't go into the car. But I had to put him down. You know, I couldn't see him suffer like this. It was his last day. So I didn't know what to do. Like, I can't tell him we're going to the vet. He'll go crazy on his last day. I don't want to be inside. You know what I told him? I got my hunting gear on. I put on my hunting suit. Meister Shai told us. Put his hunting suit. He got his gun. And the dog went crazy. We're going hunting. And he jumped into the car before I got to the car. He said, by the way, I just want to stop by the vet for a second. And then the guy started crying. He was tearing up. He's like, they put him down. It's not a joke. If you have a dog, which I can relate to it. Anyway, people put a lot of money into these dogs. The boilu. Avi, by the way, Norm and I were discussing. Do you want to be a Magachir in our yeshiva?
No.
The boilu. Bain Maush Yakis Dam Laviv. Moira de Kashayla Rabbi, here's a question. You're on a tiyul with your father, and a thorn gets stuck in the bottom of his foot. He's limping like a meshuggah, he can't move. Nobody's there, just you. Do you take it out of his foot? Yes or no? Question. I'm asking the Olam. Serious question. Maisa Shayla Halacha. No. You just so? Yes or no? Huh?
You take it out for a fool.
You take it out for a fool. No. You're all wrong. What's the answer? Machlokes. If you're a Sephardi, it's aser. If you're Ashkenazi, it's mutter. If you're Sephardi, the Shulchan Aruch says it's aser. But the Ramah says it's mutter. Nobody else there. Are you allowed to take it out of his foot? You might draw blood when you pull that splinter out. And you can't do it. You can't. Sorry, Dad, I can't help you. Limp. It happened to me. I got a splinter. I was wearing Crocs on a tiyul. Went right through. It was painful. I couldn't take it out. And somebody else had to take it out. Anyway, Bein Maushak is Dam Laviv. Could he let blood for his father? Rav Masna Omar V'ahavta l'recha kamoicha. What, do unto somebody like, there's a shaila, very interesting, there's a shaila. Oh, let me say this, you have to say this part once in a while. Somebody gave money to a very, very poor person. So he went over to him, he yelled at him, he berated him, he says, are you Meshuggah? I've been saving this poor person the entire year for Purim. He said, should I have an ani mahadrin? And you just gave him money? What are you thinking? So the Brisker Rav was looking for somebody in Purim. So somebody asked him this, what are you looking, what are you checking? You looking for an ani? He says, no. I'm looking for a lover, a reyacha, somebody that I could give him Shalach Manas to. I'm not sure if somebody has an agenda, or like he has a taina with me. It says that I need a reyehu. I have to be makbid on a reyehu. So anyways, here's the question. Could you give Mishloach Manas to your father? Are you yaitza? You could give, of course you should give. But if you only gave 2 Mishloach Manases, and one of them is your father, you yaitza? So they want to prove from here that the Gemara uses after the reyacha kamacha to your own father. It's a reya. Zog the Gemara. If you do this lirfo, you potter. If you do it for your father, you are potter. Rav says the Gemara, Silva. Rav did not allow his son. Here we have a picture of a thorn in a father. Why? Because when you take it out, check this out. What happens if you don't know? Don't look. Mendy's not looking. There's a little blood, not that much. You don't faint. His father's a physician who watches the shir every day. When his father sees blood, it's a hereditary thing. When his father sees blood, he faints, even though he's a doctor, and he faints too. He fainted once in middle shir. L'shavik, I forgot about him. Mar berei l'ravina l'shavik lebrei l'miftach le'kafsa. He didn't allow his son to take. He had a burn, and he had a blister from the burn. So to take out the pus, he said, "No, you can't do it." And I was told to say that there's a guy here in this neighborhood. His name is Avremi Kopp, who's a mumcha gadol in burns. You call Bezrat Achim. If Chas v'Shalom anybody ever needs it, it's true. He's the best. He is Bezrat Achim. Okay.
It's the best stuff you give. 100%. No overhead.
Well, there's also don't they do it for the kupat hair? It's better than kupat hair? Okay. Fine, I got it. So Avremi Kopp, if Chas v'Shalom anybody ever needs, because I know people, they know what to do. Cold water, not cold water. Put it this, put a cream. Go to him. Says the Gemara, what's the problem? You might cause blood to come out of your father's foot when you pull that thorn out, and that's a shgogavis. So as the Gemara, Yahachi Achernami. Wow, I forgot to show you this. Let me just show you this because I guess I skipped it. So let me just show it real quickly. Here's a guy who's on Purim. He's drunk with the red nose. And he's bringing the avodah.
No. The wine was with it. It's knocking on his behalf.
Okay. She gets, at least he liked it. She gets, Yochi asked the Gemara Achernami, so I ask this question every day to you guys. You guys know. What's the Isser to hit another person? What's the Isser? Pentoisif. The Isser is, we learn from Malchus. So it's Isser Deraisa. So if I take a thorn out of my friend, forget my father, I might be over Isser Deraisa if I draw blood. So the Gemara, Acher, she gets lav. Yes, Isser Deraisa is only lav. Benoi, she gets chenek. You might get chenek. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.